So welcome to Module 9 or Week 9 of this course on addiction recovery, where we'll be discussing the social pillars. What are the things you have to do within your sociological construct to be able to steward your recovery on a longer term? You want to see how you can heal relationships that has been destroyed by the virtue of the addiction, how you can build a recovery community around you. We've said repeatedly that addiction thrives in isolation, and connection is a necessary resource for you to be able to steward your recovery on a longer term. A number of research has linked or discovered strong association with long-term recovery in those who have strong social support. So the more the social support you have, assuming that you're also taking care of your biology, your physical health, your psychological landscape, your spiritual rootedness is on point, the higher the chance of you being able to sustain your recovery on a long term. As humans, we are wired for connection. Humans are meant to dwell in an interconnected, interrelated, interdependent atmosphere. So healthy relationships then should provide safety and security, should provide you a sense of love and belonging, should provide emotional support, should provide accountability and encouragement, should provide you hope and motivation and resilience and strength. So when we say relationship, when we say sociological construct, those are the things you're going in for. And when you find that your association, your friendships, a certain person or people or circle don't meet these prerequisites, we say these are the ones you have to put boundaries around. You understand how you decide relationships that deserve a firm boundary. Now, the thing is that addiction will not just affect you, as you already know, it also destroys relationships because there is broken trust. You've told your dad, you've told your mom, told your wife that you will not do it again. A husband has told the wife that he will not watch pornography again, then she sees you watching it. That's broken trust right there. The fact that you don't keep your word is dishonesty and secrecy. Then would create emotional distance. Emotional distance is even the brain pot of addiction, because there's that emotional isolation coupled with psychological trauma and unresolved emotional pain. And you feel nobody understands me, I'm in my own world. There's nobody I can discuss this with. There and then you have addiction brain. Many times it strains family. Addiction is a family dysfunction. It's not just an individual dysfunction. When you find an individual who struggles with addiction, there are ripple effects within the family. Then financial strain. You borrowed money, you're owing money, you've bought some things on credit, you've taken a loan to finance the addiction, and a number of other things. You've lied to people in a bid to get money. For some people, there's isolation and loneliness, of course. There's poor communication because over time you have prioritized the addiction at the expense of relationships. So here we would also be learning how we can communicate well. Because if we're going to build holistic relationships and be able to get people in our corner, on our sides, people who are willing to support and walk you through this journey, your ability to communicate has to be solid. Then, of course, there's loss of intimacy. But the good news is that regardless of what has happened, all relationships can heal and connections can be restored if we're willing to do what it takes to get to that point. And you know that you just have to do what it takes to find some positive, supportive people in your corner. It's not a journey you want to walk alone. In Module 8, we talked about healthy relationships and unhealthy relationships. So this is just a recap. So you want to surround yourself with people that will support your recovery journey, not sabotage it. The same people who got you into addiction will not be the same people who would continue with you on the recovery pathway. So healthy relationships will mean that these people or the relationship respects boundaries that you've put in place, will encourage you to be honest and encourage you towards growth, not pull you down towards the addiction. They want to support your recovery journey. They celebrate your progress. Oh, it is 2 months down the line. So just call you up or just let you know. And then that you even call them up and say, this is my 2nd month of sobriety. I say, oh, good job. No, say, and so what's the big deal? What have you done that the others have not done before? No. So you should be able to know which is which. Then we'll be willing to accept their responsibility and would also help you accept your own responsibility. And then healthy relationships will mean that you're able to communicate respectfully with yourselves. Unhealthy relationships would encourage addictive behaviors, would manipulate and control you, will criticize, blame, or shame you, will ignore or violate your boundaries, will create chaos or drama, and they may pressure you into unhealthy choices. So you then want to ask yourself, who helps you become your healthiest self? Who? There will be 1, 2, 3, and of course you have to be one of those people anyway. It could be a parent, a sister, a clergyman, your therapist, your accountability partner. But this module demands that you intentionally craft out a number of persons that you know they are your backup, they are your team on this recovery journey. You know, the thing is, many of us are not taught to ask for help. Here, you just have to ask for help. And if you're watching from Nigeria, we have this mindset of you don't air your dirty laundries outside. You don't want people to know about your business. You want a few people to know about your business so that you can heal. Even in the hospital, nobody comes to the hospital expecting healing and says, no, doctor, don't check me in those intimate areas. If you have issues in those intimate areas, the doctors have to check you there. And you'll be sure even the caregiver will help you clean up those places. So there's nothing so new under the sun. There are no addiction so bad that is like, I'm the worst. Nobody has seen this kind of thing. Please don't believe the lie that the addictive mind tells you. So recovery is not a solo journey. You don't have to go it alone. So a strong supportive system would help you to stay grounded, encouraged, and accountable. Who are the people you want to include in your team? A therapist or a counselor, a recovery coach or a sponsor, assuming that you're in a recovery group. We, at the Foster Health Mental Health Consultancy, we have recovery cohorts. It comes in cohorts of 3 months, and then we'll wrap it up. Some people that want to continue, excuse me, they continue after the cohort is ended. But then even if you're not joining the Foster Health Mental Health Consultancy recovery groups, if you go online, you find a number. But I know many are not available in Nigeria. If you're watching me in Nigeria, but outside the country, you find them in some other climes. Then it could be a trusted friend, could be in your team who is sober, who is not also struggling with an addiction. Then could be a supportive family member, could be your pastor or your spiritual leader, could be the support group or the recovery community themselves. The whole group can also be your team. They can hold you accountable. How was the past week? There could be a mentor or a role model, maybe a mentor, someone who has walked the addiction journey and then recovered, or someone whose life you admire, who you can aspire to say, okay, though I'm on this recovery journey, I see myself becoming a public speaker. I see myself becoming a therapist. I see myself becoming a doctor. So you set that gaze right in front of you, and then that becomes your guiding compass. So now, despite all that I've mentioned, all that I've listed, you don't need so many people. You need a handful of safe people who can be trusted, who will be consistent, who will not bail on you, who will not bail on you along the way. So now, healthy communication. I said that the addictive lifestyle, addictive mindset, many times would erode relationship because of the way you communicate. So if you're going to steward relationships that will favor you, your ability to communicate has to be improved. So it requires that you're able to have honest, respectful, and clear communication with people. That would then mean, for instance, you meet up with your accountability partner. You have to listen before responding. Don't interrupt, don't interject. Don't say, hear my own side of the view. This is what happened. Even with anybody you will communicate with, you listen before responding, and you don't listen while you're trying to process your own response. You listen so you can understand them, because you would also expect that the same attention is given to you, and it is when you give it out that people give it to you in return. You need someone who will be willing to listen to you unequivocally on this recovery journey. Then you want to speak the truth respectfully. Then you want to express emotions, your emotions clearly. So when this happened, this is how I felt, and these are the thoughts I had, and then this and this happened. And if you need help, please ask for help. Now, supposing something happens and you realize that you're the one responsible, maybe you had a slip up, and your spouse is your accountability partner, and you would have to take responsibility for your own part in that slip up. That will mean you're willing to apologize, even though you explain what led to it. You will still take responsibility for breaking their trust, for not being honest, for not holding to your own side of the bargain. Then at all costs, you want to avoid blame and accusations. It is a yin and yang. It is a give and take. You do it for others, they do it for you. But I would say you begin doing it for others. Don't wait for others to do this for you. You're trying to amass a number of people who are trying to support you, and except is a professional, chances are they may be your family, they may be friends whom you are disappointed along the way. You can use the same communication tactics that you had when you were struggling with the addiction. Now that you're on this recovery journey, you have to speak better, you have to commune better, you have to demonstrate honesty and respectfulness in your communication. So another thing you want to keep in mind is setting healthy boundaries. There's that part where you're now amassing a number of people who are journeying with you on this recovery trip. But there are also some people you have to put a wall or a door. You're putting up boundaries, because you have to have boundaries in place if your recovery will be protected. If you're someone who struggles with sexual addiction, and then you have the sex consort that comes to your house and has the key to your house. Boundary will mean that you're changing the key to your house, or you can't collect your key back. The boundaries will mean that you're blocking him or her, so they don't barge in unexpected at odd hours of the night, and then you're struggling and wondering how do you come out of this tight spot. That would also mean that your dealer is blocked and the number is deleted, so that the day that the chips are down, it makes it very difficult for you to be able to reach out. And if you stay in a location where everybody smokes, I counsel students a lot, and sometimes you have a student who stays in a hostel where every single person in that hostel smokes, and it could be a hostel of like about 20-30 rooms. Continuing in that hostel is practically impossible for your recovery to be sustained. So if it means you're going to change your place of residence, it's worth it. And then maybe there's someone who stays in a toxic environment. They may not be smoking, but it's the same environment where everybody is fighting. There's shout today, there's infidelity tomorrow, there's theftiness tomorrow, police is coming to raid you people. That's a toxic environment that is going to undermine your psychological landscape. So you may need to establish boundary. Boundary may mean that you're taking yourself out, and it may mean that you're keeping people out. Either way. So example of healthy boundary would mean that you're saying no without guilt. No, I'm not going to be there. No, I cannot do this for you. No, I cannot give you the phone number. No, I can't exchange my contact. No, I can't exchange my address. No, I'm not coming for that hangout, because at that hangouts there will be weed and there will be smokes and then there will be alcohol. And that would also mean you're living or avoiding triggering environments. You're limiting contact with people who are unhealthy or unsupportive. It will mean that you're protecting your recovery time, therapy, meeting, rest, and self-care. It will mean that you're avoiding high-risk situations that may lead to relapse. It will mean that you're honoring your values, your needs, and your personal limits. The boundaries will help you protect your peace, will help you stay focused on your recovery journey, will help you strengthen healthy relationships. You need those. Will help you build self-respect and self-worth. would help you reduce stress and overwhelm, because now you're not overextending yourself unnecessarily and negatively. It will help you walk in purpose and freedom. Boundary means that you are teaching others how to treat you. It's a form of self-care. It's not selfishness, it's self-care. So now, regardless of what has happened, you want to remember that we take it one day at a time. While addiction can build trust, recovery can rebuild it. And you want to rebuild trust one day at a time, especially if the life you lived has hurt people a lot. Please don't expect them to give you trust all of a sudden. If they don't give it, don't take offense. Trust is earned, is built one block, one brick at a time. So you want to be honest, be truthful even when it's difficult. If you had a relapse, own up. If I own up before they catch you, before they ask you about it. So I had a relapse. I just want to tell you. The fact, if I want, you can break the hold of secrecy on your relapse. Your recovery is, and then you have people willing to support you and help you on the journey. Your recovery journey is almost guaranteed. So even when it's difficult, tell them what you did. Then consistency, show up. If you say you're going to be there, if you say you're not going to do it, try your absolute best. We know you may not be perfect 100%, keeping in mind that the addicted brain is struggling, but you're on that recovery journey, and then let it be that they see you trying. Accountability will mean that you take responsibility for your actions. Don't try to say this happened and this happened. You're looking for a leeway of escape. Take responsibility. I did it. I am sorry. I am trying my best to quit. I'm growing into a better person. Give me another chance. Then it may be that they've given you so many chances. Yes, because then you did not know what you know now. Now you know better and you will do better. Then follow through on your commitment. If you make promises, please keep to it. Your promise may have nothing to do with the addiction. Is that if you say you're going to wake up at so and so time and wash the car, do it. If you told your wife you're going to take the kids to school, do it. So while the issue may be with porn-related addiction, but your ability to keep your promises in the other everyday things of life is an important thing. If you tell your parents you're going to help tidy up the house, do it. Because if you remember what we said, you're ultimately building yourself into a different person, into a better human being. Then patience, allow time for healing, allow time for forgiveness. So you will need to also give them time. Whatever happened between you and them did not happen overnight. You can't also expect them to flip like a switch overnight. Give them time. You continue being consistent while trying to build trust. And continue demonstrating responsible behavior. Make safe, healthy, and respectful choices. And then if you have a slip-up, be open and transparent about it. Apologize sincerely. Ask for feedback. How am I doing in the past 1 week? Because you're trying to build trust. So you also want them to also mindfully be able to assess you and know that you are interested in getting better. How have I been in the past 1 week, in the past 2 weeks? How well am I showing up as a son, as a spouse, as a daughter? And then when you're giving feedback, make amends when possible. And then you want to stay committed to change and keep showing up one day at a time. Little by little, you can rebuild any trust that has been broken. So now your recovery lifestyle would mean that, all of those things we do in the biological pillar, the psychological pillar, within the social circle, there are a number of things you want to keep in mind and you want to incorporate daily, weekly, as the case may be, daily or weekly, based on the agreement you have with your accountability partner. At the end of the day, you want to check in. So, sir, ma, or brother, sister, I want to just check in with you and let you know that today went well. I struggled a bit, but I did not give in to the addiction. When this and this happened, this was what I did. Maybe that you're logging in as a message. Could be weekly, could be daily, but the more frequent, the better. So much so that you've logged in the first 8 days. You do not log in the 9th day. And this accountability partner knows that they are working with you through this journey. What do you think will happen? You probably put in a call and say, I didn't hear from you today. What happened today? So before you are gone and relapsed another 1 week, somebody has caught you on the first day of a potential relapse. And then when they call you, don't lie, don't say, no, I'm okay, I was just busy. No, tell them I was struggling. In fact, I almost relapsed. In fact, I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't have any energy or any motivation to chat you or to text you or to call you. That's why I did not. And the person probably says, okay, will you come over? Can we talk this over? Or can I help you contact your therapist, as the case may be? Then you want to spend time with elderly people daily. There should be at least 1 or 2 persons you spend quality, positive time with. Then if you have access to support meeting, group supports, please stay engaged. Then you want to encourage someone else, act of service, generosity. Then you want to resolve conflicts respectfully. Don't even linger around issues. The ones you can put boundaries around, boundaries and block them off. The ones you can avoid, you want to avoid conflicts as much as possible. But supposing there's a conflict between you and your recovery team, people you have in your corner, you would resolve. Don't say, no, it's my life. Recovery is strengthened through healthy daily relationships. Then gratitude, appreciate people, say thank you. Could be after a week, thank you for walking this journey with me the past week. It would have been difficult trying to recover alone, but knowing that you're in my corner has made me more hopeful of a lasting recovery. Thank you. You send that message to someone, and then you call them later that something is happening. That person jumps up and wants to help you at all costs. That person is even willing to say, okay, I will pay for 1 session of your therapy. To practice gratitude to people, gratitude to God, gratitude to yourself. For appreciation to yourself for 2 weeks of progress, for the 3rd week of sobriety. And when you're struggling, please ask for help. You don't have to be strong all the time. That's why you have an accountability partner. You have some support group. You have just someone who is encouraging you. So you want to keep this in mind. So recovery is a journey. It's not a destination. We don't get there. It's a lifelong thing. A lifelong thing. Later, maybe you will not use the word recovery. You say you're growing, but we are all on that journey called progress. So it means that you would want to then have realistic goals, a clear vision for your future. And you take it one day at a time, practice self-care, rest well, eat well, exercise, nourish your body, mind, and soul, and spirit, and then keep learning. Keep learning. This is one of such courses. Recommended books are one of such. Recommended videos are one of such. Therapy is one of such. Then you build and maintain healthy relationships, and whatever happens, regardless of how many times you relapse or there's a setback, please don't give up. They are part of the process. It's not the end of it. You pick yourself up and you go again. You pick yourself up and you go again. One analogy I usually give people is that when you look at the heart rhythm, if you've seen it in movies, even if you're not a medic, those machines that monitor patients, you see it goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. Once there's a flat line, what do you know? What do you think has happened? The person is dead. So in life, it's ups and downs. It's part of life. But what should happen? When you at that down point, you pick yourself up again. If another one happens, you pick yourself up again. So what are some relapse prevention tips you want to keep in mind on this journey? Identify your triggers. What are the things that would usually happen before there's a craving? So even if you find yourself having a craving, what did I say? I say it's an opportunity to explore what happened before that craving came up. Then you need to also have healthy coping mechanisms, journaling, meditation, calling someone, going for a walk, drinking water, asking yourself, is it I'm hungry or I am tired? Then you want to keep your support system close. So attend support meetings, group meetings. You want to create your personalized relapse prevention plan. When the craving comes, what happens? What do I call? You want to avoid high-risk situations, places where they use, people that do whatever it is. Then you want to be honest about your struggles. Ask for help early. And when you had a milestone that you've set for yourself, after a month, I'm going to do this, celebrate it. After a month of sobriety, maybe I would prepare a sumptuous meal, or I'll go visiting a very close friend. Do it. And you keep your faith and stay positive, whatever may happen. So, as always, thank you for staying with me on this recovery course. Wishing you peace, joy, and lasting sobriety. Until next time, God bless you.